TCU winning like that and you guys having a shot there at the end?
It was real tough, but I don't think we gave up until that clock hit 0-0. So I think we left everything we had on the court tonight.
Nettie, can you talk a little bit about the battle with Sedona and kind of how that played out throughout the game? It seems like you kind of found a groove there in the second half, but what was giving you trouble and how did you try to fight through it?
Yeah, I mean, she's just a tall. She's a tall girl. She has a great length, so she's hard to just shoot over. You have to get counter moves and get her on her feet before you can finish. So when I figured that out, it was easier.
Sarah, obviously a disappointment, but what can you guys take out of this game? Because, I mean, you're in it despite shooting it, like y'all did.
I think you said it. We shot the ball pretty bad tonight, but I think our defense. We played a great game of defense, but we still got more basketball left to play. So just carrying our defense over and knowing that offense will come, we'll get in the gym and we'll put it all back together.
Sarah, saw you emotional there after the game. Was that just maybe potentially playing your last game here in Waco, and where did that emotion come from, and how much has your time meant here at Baylor when you're kind of counting down the days here?
Yeah. I knew I was gonna get emotional sooner or later. But I've gave Baylor 5 years, and Baylor has gave me a great 5 years. The fans, the coaches, to all the way down to my family, to the staff outside of basketball. Everybody's just played a huge role in my years here at Baylor. So I think I want to go out there and do it for them one last time, if it was the last one at Baylor. So I think the emotion came out. I just want to do it for the fans and everybody that came out tonight. We appreciate you, but that's really what it was. It's just want to do it for everybody that came out to support us tonight.
Sarah, all the momentum y'all built up over the last 9 games or so, does this take away from that, and how do you kind of push through as you kind of go into the postseason now?
I don't think it takes away from it. I think, we learned a lot in this game. Next time, if the ball's not falling, got to get a little more stops on defense. I think it's a lot of learning lessons that we did in this game, but I think, it's going to make us even more hungry going into the tournament.
This question is for both of you. This has been a one-sided rivalry for quite some time now, but TCU has picked it up over the last couple of years. How fun is it to play in a rivalry game of this magnitude at the end of the season with the Big 12 title on the line?
I mean, I'm new to this rivalry, so it was just a game for me. But I know I saw somewhere that it was the first time where it was like the last game was winner takes all in the Big 12. So, I mean, it was a really great opportunity, and I thought we gave our all. We just fell a little bit short.
Yeah, I think, it was great for women's basketball. I think, the fans showed up, and I think it was great for both Baylor and TCU to have a game like this. Like Nettie said, it was the first time that this has ever happened, and it was just a great thing for women's basketball.
Nettie, would y'all like to have another crack at them in the Big 12 tournament? And how would you approach that differently, if at all?
I mean, yeah, if it works out that way, I hope we get another chance to prove that, we can beat them, because I know that we can. Not much that we have to do differently. I think just making our shots. I think tonight was just one of those nights where the basket wasn't really on our side, so we'll definitely be more prepared if we face them again.
This is really for either of you, but Yaya also pretty emotional after the game. What can you say about what she did tonight, just providing that spark?
Yaya came out and played. I think she had a phenomenal game. I think, the last shot that she took kind of hurt her. I think that's where a lot of that came from. But I was telling her, like, hey, you played an amazing game. This one shot doesn't determine you. We still got a lot more basketball to play.
Well, first of all, just what an incredible stage, environment with how, the league played out. For us to have a nationally televised game, the top two teams tied in a winner-take-all 40-minute battle against your rival, that's as good as it gets. Like, that's what March is about. That's what March Madness is about. And obviously, the game was physical. It turned out first team to 51. And these are two high-scoring offenses, but just the effort that these players gave today, the heart and passion that both teams played with, there was a lot on the line. And you guys, this is our first Big 12 title in school history. And so this group is so special, and everything that they've accomplished. There has been so many times post-game when I get to come in here and, it's the first time we've done this, and it's the first time we've done that. Well, this tops all of them. You guys, to win a league title for TCU and to bring that trophy home, it's a little surreal, to be honest. And so I am so proud of this group. And before we went out there, our whole motto was, at the end of the day, in this kind of game, toughest team's going to win. And today, the toughest team won.
Mark, obviously you want to enjoy this. How long do you let them enjoy it before you have to start looking forward? Because like you said, it is March Madness.
Oh, we enjoy this sucker. Are you kidding? This is league titles, you guys, are so stinking hard to win because it's so long. It's a 3-month journey, 2 games a week. And there's so many things that can go sideways that you have no control over during that process. So these are one of those things you truly enjoy for a day or two. And thankfully, we don't play till Friday. We'll head to Kansas City on Wednesday. But this moment, you guys, this is historic, for our program. And when you know the depths of where we've come from, you truly understand the significance of this. Inherit a 1-17 program, hold open tryouts a year ago because you can't field a team, to go in 28-3 and winning an outright conference title. We're going to enjoy this. We'll start tonight, and these kids are going to enjoy it for the next couple days.
Mark, congratulations on the regular season title. You guys are known as one of the best offensive teams in the country, but what do you think it just says about this team, just holding a team like Baylor to 27% shooting on their home floor?
Yeah, it's been neat. And I love that we can really score. I love that we can really shoot the ball. But I think our defense all year has been really, really good and really sound. Against West Virginia, it was a similar deal. They had a hard time getting to 50. Baylor had a hard time getting to 50. And so it's been neat to watch the evolution of this group and this unit get really good defensively. Obviously, we got the best shot blocker in the country back there, so that helps clean up a lot of mistakes. But there's just a lot of length out there. And Haley's a pit bull on defense and can hold her own. And so as a unit, we've become really good. And then on the glass, you got to finish these possessions, and we're a really good rebounded team. So I think it shows we can win those games when they're a shootout. In a March, you got to also be able to win those games when they're first team to 50. And I think we've proven we can do both.
Coach, congratulations. You've talked about total team effort all season, and Haley and Sedona really carried you guys early, but it was Agnes and Taylor and Donovan hitting big shots late. What does that do for your confidence as you head into the postseason?
I should have started this before, like when we just talk about a turnaround, but you talk about those kids. But you guys, just as a person of faith, how each one of these kids has ended up on our roster at TCU. Even as we talk about how far we've come from last year or this year, like the Lord has been working miracles over this last 2 years. And Donovan and Bigby, Agnes, all these unique storylines, Haley, Sedona, Madison get all, and rightfully so, all the headlines. But it's incredible how this puzzle has truly come together and how they complement each other on the offensive side of the ball, the defensive side of the ball. And you guys, it's easy to forget when you're 28-3. Half our team's new, and they're going through this journey together. for the first time. When you watch a play, you wouldn't know that. But truly, the Lord has connected the dots and brought this special group together. And it's been a magical ride. But those kids stepped up big. Bigby's 3 was a dagger that she hit. And Agnes in that fourth quarter also hit a monster one. But we can really shoot the ball, and that's what makes us hard to defend.
Congratulations on the title, Coach. I saw during the celebration, Haley kind of snuck away and gave you a hug. Just talk about what that moment meant to you, what she's meant to this team, and just what it was like to celebrate out there on that court with everyone.
Yeah, Haley, you guys, my best analogy is, or at least one that I like to share, it's, on a dog sled team, you need a lead dog that everybody follows, and there's only one. And you got to find that one. And Haley's, she's our lead dog. She has this just warrior spirit, while she has a humble spirit at the same time. And the team follows her and they love her. And she's this incredible leader, has an incredible work ethic. But we go as Haley goes. And so the relationship that we've got to have over this 9 months, you guys, it's been really, really special. And to accomplish something like this, when I recruited Haley, we talked about me and you are going to be attached at the hip. And at the end of the day, she gets 9 months to try to make this work and to learn a system. And so it was really special for her to come find me and give her a hug. But we've been on this journey together, and I've known that kid since she was, 15 years old. And so, again, it comes back to just the Lord connecting dots. 5 years later, I get to coach this kid. And everything she's been through, for her to lead us to a 28-3 record, after everything she's been through in her college career, I am so happy and proud of her. There's nobody that deserves it more than Haley Van Lith.
Coach, congratulations. Last season was the start of the injuries on this very same floor. How surreal is it in a full circle moment just a year later to win the Big 12 championship on the same floor?
Man, there's a lot of things. You hit on it, and my wife's over here and my daughter. So Sedona broke her finger here, and that started all the injury bug and the open tryouts and all that. And all last year, my wife kept saying, and I didn't totally, understand it, but on her heart, she kept telling me the Lord's setting the stage. And she said that once the injuries happened, that was her theme. She just said, keep going, the Lord's setting the stage. Come and find out, she was doggone right. And so this was a really special moment for Sedona to come full circle. And ultimately, you guys, as a program, Baylor's been the powerhouse, the juggernaut in our league for a long time. And they have an incredible coaching staff, coach and players. And so to beat them in this environment for this kind of game, it just shows you that our program's arrived at the highest level in college basketball. And so this win carries a lot of significance for many reasons.
Mark, congratulations. I know Xavi had the scout tonight. He's a guy that's been by your side for 11 years now. How meaningful was it not only to win this type of game in this environment, but to win it alongside him?
Man, Xavi, he's had Baylor scout twice. And you guys know the deal. Xavi has been with me 11 years, and we've been in a lot of battles together over those years. And there's a reason he gets the biggest scouts, and there's a reason he had Baylor. And so that's my brother. He had these guys nailed. And I think you could tell by the defensive effort both times. We've been nails. This time was elite, though. This time our kids were so dialed in. They were ready for this moment, you guys. And that's another thing we talked about is understanding the moment and what's at stake, and we got to seize it. And one of the benefits of being as old as we are is these kids understand that. Chavi understands it. Our staff understands it. So I'm happy for Chavi. I'm happy for our team. This is as big a win as I've got to be a part of in my career.
And then you mentioned her already a little bit, but Sedona gave you 16 points and 19 rebounds tonight. Just talk about her performance on the floor.
Sedona's incredible. She played 38 minutes to have 16 points, 19 rebounds. I thought she laid a foundation early on to give everybody a comfort with those shots that she was hitting. She was picking and popping. Sedona can shoot 15, 17-footers all day. That's what she would prefer to do if I let her the whole time. And so she was so calm. But to watch her and Vonleh battle, I mean, that's two of the best centers in the country going at each other. And Sedona got 19 rebounds. And they did a heck of a job defensively, you guys. They were trapping our ball screens. They did a great job rotating on the backside, and we really had nothing easy. The only thing we kind of got in a rhythm was Sedona hitting those shots. But Sedona, you guys, I've known her for 6 years. Just been really neat to see her growth and development. She delivered a big-time performance today, and just so happy for her.
After the K-State game, Haley was talking about like embracing the environment like tonight, and they still had time to cultivate trust. It seems like you guys have.
You nailed it. You should hear Haley in the timeouts, leading the group and talking about what you just said. But there's the journey of a season. These kids, you got to go into these wars, these battles. Sometimes you win them, sometimes you don't. But the Kansas State game was eerily similar to this in regards to the environment, the crowd, the energy, the level of opponent, their scheme of trying to speed us up, trap the on balls, all of it. It was, and so we weren't ready for the moment quite yet at Kansas State. But that experience allowed us to grow in our trust. Haley comes in and watches film with me every week, and we get to study it. And it's taken Haley a while, if people want to trap her, to play off of that and get rid of the ball and let us attack on the backside. And she did that without flinching today. And trusted her teammates. And so this team right now, you guys, it's incredible to see how tight they are as a unit. Right now, they're hard to kill. They really are. And we didn't play great. We didn't play pretty, but we found a way.
You've got an outright Big 12 championship. You've got wins over the two best teams in the ACC who are both ranked in the top 10. Do you have anything to prove going into the Big 12 tournament, or are you guys kind of getting ready for what's next?
I mean, that's a great question. There's a committee out there that studies you all season, but our body of work, I mean, that's 31 games now. We're 28-3. This group hasn't had a bad loss, which is really hard to do in college athletics. They haven't. South Carolina on a neutral court and Kansas State and Oklahoma State on the road, which are two great teams. And so I think the body work speaks for itself that this team's one of the best teams in college basketball. And so now you get to go and compete in Kansas City and see if you can get another championship, another title. And this group's hungry. They have a chip on their shoulder. They've had a chip on their shoulder all season. I think it's what makes this group really special, and it's part of the journey of how we've assembled them. But we're going to go there and see if we can cut the nets down there and take it one game at a time. But you guys, this league is so doggone good, and it's one and done. You win, you stay, you lose, go home. But I think our body of work speaks for itself in regards to the seeding and the NCAA tournament and all that. Great question.
Anything else for Coach? All right.
Thank you, guys.
We'll let Coach Collins come in since they've got a senior banquet to get to, and then we'll come back with our players once they're finished.
just struggled to score the ball pretty much the whole game. Was that a lot TCU, more y'all? What was that?
First of all, congratulations to TCU. They kind of led, and I think we took the lead in the third, but they got off to a good start. And I thought both teams played good defense. We played very differently. We got aggressive with them and extended pressure, and I thought they were very much toes on the three-point line, congestions. Sedona bothered us because she never came hardly above the charge arc. So we had no ability to roll behind her. And they made us play in that middle game. And I thought early, you talk about their defense, our shots, I thought we were going to beat them at the point of attack. I think, we were able to get by that first level. But I thought our shots were rushed. They were off balance. They were push shots. They weren't quite layups, and they weren't mid-range jump shots. And so I thought the fact that we were struggling to score, we didn't move the basketball well enough, in particular in the first half. Like, we got very stagnant. One person get it, beat their player, and then, try to score going downhill. And sometimes we got the whistle and sometimes we didn't. But I thought their defensive game plan was really good against us. I mean, they executed it really, really well. Not everyone can do that because not everyone has a 6'7" center. But I thought they did, in particular, a good job on Sarah Andrews, who hurt them the last time. So they did a great job of not making mistakes on her, on step-ups, on drags, on ball screens. They made her play to her middle game. So, I thought they were elite defensively today.
I mean, after building so much momentum over the last 9 games or so, how much of a letdown is this overall? And then as you go into the next phase of the year, where do you go from here, kind of?
I don't think it's the 9 games. We wanted to be cutting a net down. Like, we're not thinking about how many games in a row have we won. We're thinking about the game today and what it meant. And obviously meant the same thing to both teams. Neither one of us was picked to win this league. And I think they've been front runners since they beat Notre Dame and NC State. And we had to find our footing and figure it out. And then in the midst of it, I think they've been put in a really fortunate position that they've had all their starters, all season long. And that's a blessing. That was us our first year with 7 bodies and a really, really elite team with Melissa Smith and Queen Egbo. And but limited, one injury and you're a different team. And I think we've managed our injuries really, really well. But certainly, in a game that we miss, I don't know, how many is that? 47 shots. Not having the best offensive rebounder in the league, in the game impacted us. And so, I'm just proud of our team for battling. We got down 9. That was the key point in the game. I thought we missed 4 layups in a row. When it got pushed out to 9, we missed a 2-on-1 layup on the break. We missed a driving layup. We missed 2 driving layups and an offensive rebound putback in that stretch, and that's when they extended it. And I think if we make those, the game stays 2 possessions. All of a sudden, you've got the pressure, you got the home crowd, you have all of that. But I thought that was the key point. Thought it was Big B's 3 was a huge 3 for them. Emma Nopu hit one late. Those were key points when our point of attack ball screen defense was really good. I mean, we forced Haley Van Lith into 7 turnovers. I think we did what we wanted to do. Sedona was great early. We shut her down as the game went along, but I thought those kids made big shots.
Nikki, to shoot the way you did, 27%, and to still have a chance at the end of the game, I mean, is there stuff you can build on there, and would you like to have another crack at them in the Big 12 tournament?
Yeah, of course. I'm a competitor. Like, our kids are competitors. They've proved that. They've proved that all year long, and in particular down the stretch. You know, when Bella goes down, Aaliyah and Wise step up. When you know, nobody realizes this, but we didn't have Jada all week. Jada rolled her ankle in practice, and you know, I thought her timing was off. Like, I thought she was a warrior. Like, I just thought her ball screen D, like her aggressiveness on Haley, I thought she was fantastic. But from a game planning perspective, offensively and defensively, when you miss 5 straight days, you know, I think your timing is off. Like, your flow is off. So it's just been like one thing after another for us. And I think we can say, like, all right, if we've got to win a defensive battle, like, this is what we're going to do. Like, and I think I've always said, like, I don't want to be defined as an offensive team. I don't want to be defined as a defensive team. I want to be an elite basketball team, and I want to be able to win games in the 80s, and I want to win games in the 50s. And so, you know, like, yeah, like, I thought, you know, Sarah Andrews has a typical Sarah Andrews day, and we're cutting nets down right now. You know, but I thought, you know, you look at Sarah's plus minus, and they just stayed attached to her. They did a really good job, similar to Connor, you know, and I thought Connor's one basket in the second half was arguably a push-off, you know, like, we glued up on her, and it was a big shot for her in transition, but I thought we played her well, and they played Sarah on the flip side really, really well.
Nikki, what was the explanation on the timeout with like 19.7 seconds left when you went out and were obviously trying to get an explanation?
It was a warning for coming out of the coach's box. But they said it's loud in Foster, and they couldn't hear him. And so, you know, he did what he had to do to get a timeout. So,
follow up on that. Did you have a timeout left there at the end when they missed the second free throw or not?
No. Okay. Believe me. I promise I would have used it. You know, I save my timeouts like they're going to carry into 2029.
Coach, I know it's a bittersweet feeling, but can you talk about at the beginning, honoring the seniors? What does this class mean to you?
Yeah, it's a unique class. I mean, this is probably, look across the country, this class of 2025, this is the last COVID year. It's the, you know, like, you've got Sarah, who's been with me for 4 years, and Aaliyah, who's been with me for 2.5 months. And, but I think they all have played with a ton of pride in a Baylor jersey. I think that I will always appreciate kids that say yes to me. And I very, very rarely talk about this program as in me, because it's us, it's Baylor, it's not Nikki Collin, I'm not the show here. I want my team to always be what people pay attention to. But it mattered to me that kids said yes to me and continue to say yes to me. They want to play here at Baylor, but they, anymore, especially with the portal, it's about relationships and the relationships you would create with your current players and what they say when they hit the streets. And believe me, there's a lot of negative recruiting out there. But I would line up any kid who played in a Baylor uniform and be okay with them talking to anyone, because I firmly believe that we treat kids right. And, you know, we're going to have kids leave like every school does, but they're going to leave because they want more playing time or they want to play closer to home. But it won't be because we don't love them. It won't be because they don't feel like if they got a cold, we're not checking on them, that if something's going on at home, that we're not sensitive to it. But we're going to coach the heck out of them. And so I think this group is just a unique group. You know, you got 2-year kids, you got 3-month kids, you got 1-year kids. But I think they've all played really, really hard for the name on the front of their uniform.
Coach, you mentioned how neither of these teams were picked to win, but how great is it for the sport, for the Big 12, to have a game like this environment, final game of the regular season, comes down to the last shot?
Yeah, it's incredible. You know, I probably said this on the radio 72 times, like, the crowd was incredible today. seeing that many people in white, getting behind this team. This is the Big 12 couldn't have drawn it up any better to have a winner-takes-all game on kind of the last day of the regular season on national TV. Both teams playing well. I think representing our league at a high level. Like I said, it was ugly, but it wasn't for lack of that's like the one thing I will say about what Mark does. I think what we do is we both like pretty basketball. Like, I think we like free-flowing offense, ball screens, players making plays. We do it differently. Sedona's just really unique, and her ability to be such a good facilitator on the perimeter is awesome. But it was mucky. It was, today, and I think it was contrasting styles, but with the goal to make it really, really hard to score. And I think both teams did that. So I think, while it wasn't pretty, I think it was a really good game. TCU, they won it. Like, he did a good job, and they did a good job, and Haley made plays, and their role kids are really good, and they don't get talked about a lot because Connor is such an elite three-point shooter, because Haley's so good in the middle game and is shifty with the ball, and Sedona does her thing. But the defense that Emma Nopu plays cannot be undervalued. The shot Big B hit, Donovan Hunter giving them another ball handler and defender. I think they've been really good with her in the starting lineup. So they're a really good basketball team, and it was a good game.
Yaya made some pretty aggressive plays today, and how has she kind of embraced? She's played well off the bench all year, but how has she embraced kind of stepping into the starting lineup for Bugs and really kind of taking advantage of this expanded role?
Yeah, Yaya just loves the hoop. Like, she's a hooper, an emotional kid. It's her strength and her Achilles heel. She wants to do well. She takes a lot of pride in her game in basketball. And so I think coming off the bench, every kid wants to start, and I think when she came to Baylor, she started and scored 25 points a game at Ohio. And so, learning to play at this level, learning to play with a different role. I mean, she's just, she's done whatever we've asked her to do, and it hasn't always been perfect. And, but the kid really, really cares. I joke with her, she cared enough to ask the question if she could realistically get another year. And I don't know what waiver she was looking for, since she played in like 30 games her freshman year and 30, but I told her it must be that she likes me, okay, that she was trying to get another year to come back and play here. So I thought she was aggressive. I thought she got downhill. I thought she drew fouls. She missed some, but it wasn't lack of effort. It wasn't lack of trying to make a play for her team. She obviously made the big three at the end, but it was even the defensive play to create the turnover. And that kid just cares a lot. She cares a lot about her teammates, about her coaching staff, and about like being successful. Just a really, really awesome kid. Thanks.
Big 12 champions. Just for any one of you guys, just how does it feel?
It feels awesome. I think not a lot of people understand how hard it is to win a regular season championship. That means that you have to dominate consistently over the course of a league season. So that just says a lot about us and the level that we've been able to play at, and it's been a battle. And to win it on a game like that, where we just had to grit it out and be tough and mentally overcome things, I think, that's the perfect way. You wouldn't have it any other way.
Sedona, can you talk about just the involvement of this team from last year on this court where you broke your finger and then other things happened to where you guys are right now?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was kind of the start of really the downfall of our season last year, and it was so heartbreaking. And it started here. That bus ride from Waco back to Fort Worth was really, really rough. And so we knew coming in here, we've worked, built our team back up, recovered, and got some new amazing pieces in. And it's just an entirely different team, right? And so coming in here, there were nerves, but we knew that, we could handle business and get it done. And so really, really cool that, it happened to be here, the last conference game of the season. And yeah, it's just very, very special.
This is for all three of you. Baylor's coach was just in here talking about how impressive of a team you are, and specifically the role players on your team like Agnes and Taylor and Dono. And just, can you guys give some praise to the folks that aren't on the podium right now who have worked so hard all year?
Yeah. Oh, two of them.
You were the only one that said
Oh, it echoed. I thought you said it at the same time. I think that they kind of make us the team that we are, to be honest. I mean, everybody kind of throws different things at me and Haley and Sedona, but at the end of the day, you have to have a whole team, and they come off the bench regardless if they're starting or they're not starting. They come in with the mindset of they want to do whatever it takes to win the game. So I think those are the most important players, to be honest, on teams, and some teams don't have those. I mean, it's kind of difficult when you're not the main scoring threat at all times. Sometimes that kind of messes with people, and they're not really happy. But I think our team is so happy to do that, and I think that's why we have so much success. And they do it day in and day out. So, yeah, they mean everything to this team.
So, Donna, you've been money from like that 15 to 20 footer. How much work did you kind of put into that craft, and how rewarding is it to see like all that hard work pay off in a game like this?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, that's kind of been my go-to for years since I was at Oregon. I was putting to a passing position when I was at Oregon. That was my role. To be at the high post, pass it to Niar Sabali down low, and if I was open, get that shot. And so I worked on it. I've been working on it for years, 5 years now. And so it's really, really cool that it's become a big part of my game. And when I came to TCU, my goal was to work, on my low post game, back to the basket, and getting it down low and making easy buckets around the rim and passing it out from there. And so really cool. It's my favorite kind of, way to play is to get those shots. And it's been a comfort for me for so long. And so if they're giving it to me, it's just something that is very, very fun.
Madison or Haley, whoever wants to take it, or both of you, obviously this is something you want to celebrate, something you get to celebrate, but how long do you let it celebrate before putting your focus on really what March Madness really is all about? And I know you guys want to do a lot more than just win a Big 12 title.
Yeah, I mean, we leave on Wednesday to go to the Big 12 tournament, so I think we celebrate this tonight. Obviously, we've worked so hard this whole season for this moment, but not only for this moment, for March, and it's here, so this is just a start. But, yeah, we definitely celebrated a little bit, but in the back of our mind, like, we know that we have to move on to whoever we have in the tournament, and, yeah.
Yeah, I think our team has done a great job of that all year, though. Every time we have a great game, we play really well. We beat a really good team. I think we do a good job of showing up the next game and having focus. So, you get the night. We're going to celebrate tonight, but when we wake up in the morning tomorrow – it's the next team up, and I trust us, and I think we're very mature and we're able to handle that.
You guys have talked about the atmosphere that was there. Just talk about what it was like playing that atmosphere. Couldn't really hear a lot. Just what was going through your guys' mind throughout the game, knowing everything that was riding on the line this game?
I think obviously it was loud, but we have been prepped for this moment, and, all the experiences and games that we've struggled with and environments that we've had to play in leading up to this, it really prepared us for this moment. Like, I thought we did a great job navigating the crowd and the refs and the calls and whatever, we couldn't hear each other. I thought we handled it really well. And so I'm proud of our growth there. And obviously it was super loud, but we were able to communicate. We stayed poised. We executed when we need to execute. So very proud of us there.
You and Baylor are both really high-scoring offenses, so of course tonight turned into a defensive battle. Just talk about how proud you are of being able to go out in this environment and win a game like that.
Yeah, I mean, we're coming into their arena last game of the season. They were, 9-game win streak. They were rolling, we were rolling. So it was a head-to-head full two-train collision there. And we knew what it was going to be. It was very physical. It was very intense. It's everything you want a game like this to be. And, I thought we did a great job of embracing it instead of shying away. And, I think if it has to be, defense isn't normally what people think of when they think of TCU. But I think this game we showed that if it comes down to that, we're able to be tough enough to handle that.
Speaking of embracing it, Haley, after the K-State game, you talked about embracing the environment and having time to cultivate trust, and it seems like you guys have done that.
Yeah, I mean, I think crowds and whatever it may be, it's the game is so mental, and all of us that are on the team, we've learned each other and we've learned what we need to be supported. And, I feel supported by my team. I know they have my back. When I'm going into a game like that and I know they're going to double me, I know they're going to be physical with me, I know these two have my back, and I know everybody else on that bench has my back. And I think going through games like K-State, and of course, like, we hate to lose, and it's something that you don't want to have to go through, but we had to go through that to know, okay, in this type of environment, this is what I need to do for Maddie to make sure that she feels confident in her game. This is what I need to do for Sedona, and they do the same for me. So I think we've done a great job at encouraging each other, and ultimately today we were able to, pull out a win at their gym.
I asked Coach Campbell a similar question, but as you guys head to Kansas City for the Big 12 tournament with wins over top 10 teams with an outright Big 12 championship, do you feel like you have anything left to prove, or do you think your resume can speak for itself at this point?
I think we always kind of have something to prove in the back of our head. I mean, we're doing something for the first of TCU every time we do something. So, yes, this is great. And I think our team is so unique. Like, all of us are new here. So I think we're a unique group. Like, none of us have really been here for a long time. So I think we have goals set for this team in and of itself. And I think that we kind of just want to prove everybody wrong regardless. I mean, this is a great thing to have under our belt. But at the end of the day, in March, it doesn't matter what you have on your resume. You have to win a game or you're going home. So, yeah, we definitely have some stuff to still prove.
It's all right. Thank you.
All right. We'll see you in Missouri in 72 hours.
Thanks.
Yeah, we leave tonight. No.
No school.